So, Wednesday, incredible, middle of the week. This is a fantastic time to take a look and see where you're headed. Have you reached halfway where you want it to be at the end of the week? This is a great day to do it. We set ourselves up for goals and for things we want to accomplish during the week, and then we comes Friday and we haven't even gotten close. So Wednesday is a good day to reflect back and say, where am I? What else do I need to do in order to accomplish everything I set out to accomplish this week? In every area, by the way. I do speak a lot about business, but this is in every area. In your relationship with your wife or your husband or your kids or with your parents or with situations in your life, your studies, your growth, your personal growth. Wednesday is a good time to reflect, take some time to analyze where am I in the week so that I can take action from here until the rest of the week to accomplish everything that I want to accomplish, right? By way of introduction, my name is J.C. Bernal. I work with small business owners, helping them get to the next level when they top out, when they hit the ceiling. I help them break through that ceiling and get to where they want to be, take the company to where they want to go. And before I forget, by the way, I have a business breakthrough strategy session. If you want to take that session, it's at juancarlosbernal.com/bb. You can register for the session. You can schedule your own session. I still have a few spots available there. And what we do in that session is work through get a crystal clear vision of where you want your company to go. Where is it at now? What do we need to do to get there? We work through what are the hidden challenges that are preventing you from moving forward and moving faster. And finally, you leave the session motivated, re-energized, and engaged to go back and work in your company and to make it run like a well-oiled machine that runs on its own. Wouldn't that be fantastic? Just to have the business work without you having to be present? Well, this is an excellent opportunity. Take advantage of it. The Business Breakthrough Strategy Session at juancarlosbernal.com/bb. That's Business Breakthrough. So, juancarlosbernal.com/bb. All right. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about middle of the week and what holds us up. I want to talk a little bit about that little voice that's inside of us that prevents us from reaching the goals that we want, from making the decisions we need to make, from taking the action that we need to take. If you noticed, there's a lot of uncertainty around us nowadays. And this uncertainty all of a sudden overwhelms us to the point that knowing what we need to do, knowing the decisions we need to make, knowing the action we need to take, we don't do it. We just, in a sense, we're paralyzed, or we're just thinking over it, or we want 1,000 opinions from 1,000 people before we move and take action and do the things we need to do. This is due to that little voice inside of us that continuously tells us that we don't have enough information, that we're not capable, that we're not sufficient, that we're not enough, that we don't, how dare we do this or that. So that inner critic is the one that prevents us from taking action in a quicker manner. In other words, when we don't decide, we have actually decided. And a lot of times we take so long deciding that in fact we have decided not to decide. And when that happens, everything slows down. If we're looking for growth within the company and we're not making decisions and we're not taking action, you're not going anywhere. You're just desiring something, you're dreaming about something you're gonna get. And the way we get rid of that is by getting rid of the words that this inner critic is telling us. And I'm gonna give you a strategy in order for you to do that. That requires very little effort, but it requires a lot of courage. And I say that because sometimes we get tasks for difficult stuff and we take on the challenge and we do it. But yet when it's something simple, something that's going to transform our lives, change us completely, we refuse to do it. I don't know how many times I have taught this, and in courses, in multiple sessions, coaching sessions, with corporations, with small businesses. The those that do take advantage, the results that they have are always impressive. They're always impressive. It always surprises me to hear the testimonies of those that have put into place this simple method of quieting the inner critic. But very few do. Very few do take advantage of it. Let me give you the steps. First of all, the first thing we need to do is recognize that in fact there is a voice that we're hearing. That it's not that we have multiple personalities or anything like that. It's that we do have a voice that's constantly telling us what we shouldn't be doing. Don't make that decision. Don't put yourself at risk. Don't be embarrassed by that. What makes you think that you can do it? You don't have enough. You don't have enough resources. You don't have enough intelligence. You don't have enough of whatever in order to do what you need to do, make the decisions you need to do. We need to first of all recognize that we have those, that's happening to us, because if we don't recognize it, first of all, you'll be one of the few people that I have, few people know, you'll be the only one that I've ever heard that doesn't have an inner critic, doesn't have that voice that's constantly nagging at us not to do what we need to do. So that's the first aspect of it. Second is to recognize what is it saying. If you notice it's saying something that it's always the same. It has that same pattern of you're not enough, you can't do it, you'll never be able to get there, you're not worth it, or that, you know, we need to recognize what is the phrase that it's mostly repeated. The reason that phrase came into being and that inner critic came to us, it was because it was protecting us at some point. So we need to recognize that also. Recognize that, yeah, though that's what he's saying, but now if I relate back, he's probably saying this so I wouldn't get hurt in this way or in that way or whatever. There's always the purpose of why it was installed in you was so you wouldn't get hurt. But once again, now it's useless because you can take care of yourself. So the third thing that we need to do is get it out of yourself, put it outside yourself, create something that represents your inner critic. In other words, make your inner critic, create your inner critic outside of yourself. This is an inner critic that belongs to somebody, I'm not going to say the name, but the reason she says that it's her inner critic is because it's confusing, and she says she can't find the ins and outs of it, that the way it just hinders her from taking action, because it's ongoing, never ending, like this fear. So so you pick something, an object or an action figure or a doll or something that will represent that inner critic. The next thing is you name it. You give it a name. Make sure it's not your mother-in-law or something like that. Use something, you know, whatever other name, but don't use somebody that you know. Not somebody in the family. Don't use your wife or your husband's name or something like that. Once you name it, you know, we call it Jimmy or Johnny or JP or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Sometimes the name that people give it has to do with what it is, you know. So this could be called Roundy, for instance. It doesn't really matter the name. The important thing is that it does have a name. That's what's important, that you name it, because that way you can refer to them through a name. Okay, the next step is you have a serious conversation with your inner critic. And this is where courage is required. The courage to actually go someplace where you're alone and can express out loud to the inner critic what you want and what do you need from them. And it requires courage. Yes, it requires courage. If I were to ask you something really difficult, you'd probably do it without any problem, but because it's so simple, we just don't do it. So take your time, get the courage, lock yourself in a room so that people don't laugh at you by speaking to your action figure or to whatever doll you want to use. And the first thing you're going to do in the conversation is thank them. Thank them because of all these years of service that they've provided for you. They wanted to keep you safe. Remember, the inner critic is there for a purpose. It was serving the purpose of protecting you, of not having you get hurt, not having you be ashamed, not having you being forgotten or ignored or abandoned or whatever. So it becomes it comes that time where you need to thank them. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for being there for me all these years. I really appreciated what you've done. I know why you were there. You have been so good to me. Thank you so much for everything you've done. You know? And then we wait. We give some space, you know, for Jimmy to accept, to take this in. All of a sudden, what's going on, you know? And then you ask him permission. Do you mind if I change your role? Because right now, all this help that you've brought to me all these years, I don't longer need it. I need help in another role. Do you mind taking up that new role? And once again, be quiet and let Jimmy think about it and respond to us, you know? And Jimmy probably will say yes, you know, yeah, I'm open to new roles, okay? He goes, okay, if you noticed all these years, you've helped me and it's been fantastic, but now I'm grown, now I can take care of my own, but what I really want is somebody to cheer me on to everything that I need, you know, become a cheerleader for me. You know, whenever I'm confronting a difficult situation, be there for me, encourage me, give me the energy, give me the motivation that I need to move forward, give me that certainty that I can do it. You know, use positive words to encourage me and for me to take action and not get paralyzed while making decisions. Be there for me when I'm afraid or I'm scared or something that I have doubts about, that you are the one that encourages me and that gives me that certainty that I'm going to be okay and everything is going to be fine. Do you mind taking up that role? Once again, we ask for permission, we ask him a question, and we wait for him to accept this new role, right? And then once he says yes, then we go back and thank him again. Thank you so much, Jimmy, because I know you're going to do this tremendous job, that you're going to help me so much, and together we're going to do great things. Together you're going to help me advance. Together we're going to accomplish all those things that were so far-fetched that I never thought I was going to be able to reach, but now with your help, I know I will be able to. Thank you so much. And that's it. Then we can carry around Jimmy. Jimmy is no longer going to be the inner critic. He's going to be our cheerleader, basically. And it's amazing the power this exercise has. It can transform your life. I've seen it. I've seen salespeople close bigger deals than they had in their lives, basically, just by doing that exercise. And then daring to go into the places that they wouldn't dare to go before. And negotiations becomes incredibly different. You're not caught up on all the words that you've been hearing and all that. So this is a very simple exercise, and like I said before, we need courage just because we need to do it. It needs these steps to happen. And remember that if it were difficult, if I were to tell you to beat yourself up with a hammer in the head or something, you would figure out a way of doing it. You know, you were, because it's difficult, so you kind of work through it and all that. But when we have simple tasks that can transform our lives, I don't know why, but we refuse to do it. We don't take advantage of it. We don't proceed with it, and then we remain stuck in those same scenarios, those same areas that we want to move on. All right. Thank you so much for being with me. Remember the Business Breakthrough Strategy session at juancarlosbernal.com/bb. Just go there, register for the session. This is a powerful session that's going to help you clear your vision. We're going to be able to discover the hidden challenges that may be stopping you, and you're going to be motivated once you leave the session. That's my experience with all the sessions that I've had, hundreds of sessions that I've given. I haven't had a single person ever complain about the quality or what they got out of the session. So make sure you take advantage of it. juancarlosbernal.com/bb, and I'll see you in the session, or I'll see you in the next video. Great to be here. Remember, it's only Wednesday, so check your status of your goals for the week. Make sure they're happening. Make sure that you get to where you want to go this week. And we'll see you tomorrow.